Hey yo, shout out to the bro Bingham Smurf. You heard? Shout out to the whole Trinidad, the whole Southside Jamaica, Queens, the whole Queens in general. Shout out to 40 Projects, Baisley. Leave a comment. Let me know what part of Queens you from. You know we make movies over here on this channel. You heard? I don't know what them other channels be doing, but over here, we make movies, baby. Comment gang, tear this to shreds. You already know what I need. Slim Blunt gang, let me know you out there repping. You heard? Z-Man, Suicide Polo with the ski man running around the hood like He-Man at 3 a.m. with 3 swams looking for a dude that ran off with 3 grams. You already snow cone. Make sure y'all hit that like button on this video. Make sure y'all share this to Facebook. Tweet it out if you on Twitter. If you love how I be handling YouTube, feel free to send me a Cash App donation, $ Gen Pop fam. If you need promo or you want to talk some business, make sure you send me an email at thegenpopllc@gmail.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss no new episodes that I'm dropping. And make sure you check that playlist, recent and new episodes only. It's over 350 of the last episodes that I dropped in order. You heard? So you could catch up, bro. You ain't got to feel like you new in the jail, state green down. You heard? Catch up on them episodes. Z-Lord.
That's when I call wifey now. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna need like 10 scalpels and shit. You know what I mean? You know, them 11s and shit. You just wrap that shit up in a motherfucking electrical tape. Them shits don't ring and shit. Do the metal detector. So I called the town, told wife I need like 11 scalpels. So she just gonna bring me shits up. So I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? Me and my niggas, we're just gonna come out to the yard and just cause a fucking riot. See, when I landed in Brooklyn, that's like when my activities started and all that. It wasn't really crime. It was more or less just observing the OGs and, you know, learning the ropes of the game. But I used to get into a lot of altercations out there with my family, like holding my family members down and shit. So, like, I first bust my first head, like, at 8, 9 years old. Like, I split an old-timer head open, jumped off a car with them old-school Coca-Cola bottles, you know, them small little thick joints, and bust his head for my sister. You know what I mean? I was like 8, you heard? And that happened in Brooklyn. So from there, it was just, you know, on. And then when I moved to Queens, you know.
What part of Brooklyn you said that was in?
East 34th, between Snyder and Tilden. So I landed there before I moved to Queens. So that's where I first did any dirt or any crime. You know what I mean? Because I was like 7, 8, 9. And I used to run with the other kids around the area. And, you know, we used to do regular kid shit back then, get into trouble, steal people's bikes, break in the house, you know, typical young nigga shit. So it started from Brooklyn. Then, you know, I migrated to Queens. And that's where I got the rest of my game from. You know, I started playing with them guns, hustling and things like that at an early age.
How old was you the first time you got locked up?
13. I was facing 10 years. For a case I ain't even do. Like, I had a bunch of other codies and all that. You know what I mean? We went to a little house party and shit. Something happened with a female and all that. She was our age or whatever, you heard? You know, you back in the days, we had a hooky party, junior high school or whatever. So my homies and them, you know, they doing what they doing, whatever. With a shorty, a girl, like, you know, it's boys there, girls there. We having a good time. So long story short, ain't nobody doing nothing to shorty. You heard?
Yeah.
But she made it look like she wound up getting raped or whatever, or gang raped or whatever. Because when we got back to school, I guess my homies and them was bragging like, yeah, we slut her out or whatever. So then the principal wound up finding out and shit. So they wound up locking up everybody who was at the house party and shit, all the boys and shit, you know. So from there, I was facing 10 years and shit for something I ain't even have nothing to do with it and shit. Me being loyal back then as a little kid, I already know, well, you know, I gotta hold this down and figure this shit out, see how this shit play out. Yeah. So that I wound up in Spofford too for that shit. I was there for like a week and shit before my peoples bailed me out. Yeah, and this shit is all facts. I ain't scared to speak about it because I know I ain't touched shorty. And my homies and them ain't raped shorty because she gave it up. know what I mean? So, like, at the end of the day, I just had to hold it down. You know me, from young, I already know I don't fuck with the police. We don't say nothing. Yeah. Yeah, but we all wind up beating that shit anyway. Everybody beat that shit. Yeah. We won that case, so. That was the first charge I caught, you heard? Facing 10 years at 13, man. And we knew from back then to shut the fuck up, don't say a word, you heard? Because I had like 4 other codees, you dig? So that was my first encounter with like jail and the police and going to a facility, a juvenile facility, you know? Yeah.
What was the first time you ever went to Rikers Island?
First time I went to Rikers Island, I was like 16. But, you know, we just go in and out and shit, you heard? Nah, I ain't really do no real time on Rikers Island, but like 16 the first time I seen Island.
Let me rephrase that. When the first time you actually had to lay up on Rikers Island?
The first time I actually did a bit on the island, I did 30 days and shit, right? Police wound up raiding my crib and shit. They found 2 Macs and shit in my crib and shit. But you know, back then, if you don't got no felony, a gun in the house is a misdemeanor. If you know your shit. So I wound up doing 30 days on the island for that. In the 6th building and shit. What year was that, man? That's when 21 Questions had just dropped. So I did. That was my first little bit on the island.
Yeah.
So that was like 2003. 2003. A little 6 months on the island and shit. Most of my cases, I never really did no long stint, but I get bailed out from the gate, you heard? We was on like that back in the days. But like 16, my first little bit not 16, 2003. I was like 22.
Yeah, that law right there is a great law. I hope it's still in effect. Where a hammer in the crib is a misdemeanor.
Yeah, but that's only if you got no felonies though.
Yeah, I heard that, man. That shit crazy, but...
Yeah. One thing about the system, you just gotta know the law and the loopholes. You can get around a lot of shit. But this generation, they don't read and certain shit and follow up on shit. That's why they so quick to tell and all that kind of crazy shit, because they don't know the system, they don't know the game. Like, especially once you've been going to jail from a young age, like when you get older, going to jail is nothing. So you got these so-called gangsters. They talk that gangster shit. They do gangster shit too, but they never seen the system. So when you go to the system as a grown man, now them niggas don't know how to move or facilitate in there. You feel me? That's why the niggas be telling.
That's a fact, bro.
Let me tell you, police could be there. They could know the whole situation, my nigga. And they usually do. But it's usually for you to give yourself up. Or co-sign it for them. So that's how they catch a lot of niggas, because they actually come there. They telling you step by step everything you did. Like they was there with you. So that's why a lot of niggas fall. So they like, damn, man, I'm finished. They know everything. Not knowing you got to put the extra rap on it. You dig? The extra sauce on it. Yeah, and that's how we usually go. Niggas usually fold and tell on themselves, my nigga.
Word up,
yeah,
bro.
Just cop out. Sign out.
So, yo, yeah, I got a series on my page, man, that I be doing with my bro Simeon from Flatbush. He got deported back to Guyana. You feel me? And when he went back there, he went through all type of hell because, you know, he really was just a Brooklyn dude. He ain't really know nothing about Guyana at all.
Yeah.
And he was forced, and his story is crazy. But how was that when you first got back over there? Like, what was the first thing you had to do when you got there?
You know me, bro, I ain't even gonna front to hold you up. You know what I mean? You know, a general could play a soldier, right? But a soldier could never play a general. I had to get back in soldier mode. Meaning, when I got down here, I ain't really know nobody. I ain't know my family, I ain't know the place, and I had to get back in tune with the culture. So it's like I turned the baby again, you heard? So I just got back in soldier mode, meaning I laid back and just observed the place before I even shook out, you heard? Because before you land in anybody territory, bro, You know, you gotta just observe the place, know who's who. You know what I mean? Know who to connect with. Now to maneuver. You can't just come in another place, another person's territory, thinking you could just shake out. I don't care how ill you is or where you from. You gotta learn the rules. You gotta learn everything again. You heard? So I just got back in soldier mode, observed the place, you know. And then when I felt comfortable, I started shaking.
And how old was you the last time you had been there?
I left here at 6 years old. I ain't come back since I was a little kid. So I ain't know nobody. I ain't know the place. I ain't know nothing. You did.
And what they do, they just drop you in a random town in Trinidad?
Yeah, that's how they do. Once you get, well, for me, coming to Trinidad, once I landed here, they just drop me off, that's it. But, you know, I got to go through customs. I got to go have a little interview, and they ask me what I'm going to do while I'm out here, and ting, check my record. You know what I mean? Then they just let you walk out the door, out the airport. So if you don't got no family there, my nigga, you on your own. ain't no money for you, ain't no place to, they putting you, none of that. You on your own.
So you ain't had no type of bread, no nothing?
Yeah, you on your own. They don't give you nothing.
No, I'm talking about you. You ain't have no bread, no nothing when you came out that airport?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, you could have money. Your peoples could send you your outfit. Like if you got peoples in foreign, you know, just like you coming home from a regular jail. But you see, I already had my outfits and all my clothes from when my release date and immigration snatched me, you heard? So I already had my clothes and shit. But when you coming home, your peoples could send you money. You know, you in the federal joint. They had me in Buffalo, Batavia. That's the feds out there. The feds on one side, immigration on the next side. So I was on the immigration side in Buffalo, Batavia. So, you know, I had money in my account. So once you leave, and you can leave with the money in your account.
So what they did, transferred that bread over to Trinidadian dollars and just gave you that amount?
Nah, U.S. hold more weight down here, but I got mines in U.S. Because once I'm leaving the feds now, whatever money I got in my account, they're giving it to you in U.S.
How that?
Remember, I'm still on U.S. soil, so when I get to Trinidad now, I'm running around with U.S. And down here, U.S. is 7-1. So for every $1 U.S. is $7 TT down here. So you know that U.S. hold a little weight down here.
And what town that was that you came into first?
Oh man, you know I live in the gutter grimy part of Trinidad. Man. I'm from over Laventille, man. Yeah, so when I came back down, man, you know me, I'm in the hood. Gunshots every day. You heard? I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? They sent me to Iraq. Because remember, I ain't really know the culture in Trinity. I know it was wild, but I ain't know it was wild like this. Because we right next door to Colombia and Venice, so we the hub. Like all the drugs, guns, everything come through here. So that's why I said I had to lay back and observe the place, because I ain't know none of this shit, you dig? So come to find out, this is fucking Narco City out here where they drop you, bro. So when I came back, I'm in the hood. I live in the hood. That's where my family from. I was born. You dig? So when I came out here, it's a wild, wild west, my brother.
Crazy.
Only choppers out here, choppers, man, AR-15, man, the big shits, man. No handguns out here, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, man, my they deported my wife, brother, back to Trinidad. Yeah. Son ain't know nothing about Trinidad. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he probably was over there when he was 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
And they sent son back, you know what I mean? And son had to learn to adapt and live out there. That shit crazy,
because
bro.
Remember, it's a whole different lifestyle. This ain't America, man. This third world for real. You know what I mean? Like, people is really, the poverty level is on extra high out here. You know what I mean? Some people still getting waters twice a week. They got you on a water schedule. Like, everything is skyrocket out here. Like, the prices for everything is triple up. Dead. Yeah. So, you know, you come back down here from foreign, man, you really got to be built for this shit mentally. There's more mental games when you get deported. You got to be strong mentally, man. This shit will break the toughest nigga down.
So, who was the first person that you trusted, that you met out there?
First person I trusted. when I was in immigration, I linked up with a homie and shit. He was coming back down here as well. So when I came back down here, I linked up with him. I used to rock with him heavy. Yeah. Hopefully I would have been reported with. So me and him just used to rock heavy. Yeah, and then another one of my homies from Queens came down a few months later, and I used to rock with him heavy, my nigga Keno from 40 Projects and shit. So it just used to be us two and shit. Before I even shook out, I always, like first thing I came down here, I got on my business, registered the company, started to Feed the Wolves shit, and I just started rocking. And that's at the time I linked up with Ross and shit. So shit started jumping as soon as I came back home, like, you know what I mean? The blessings just started, you know what I mean? Smurf home, so a lot of people started reaching out and shit. Informing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I registered my company and just started rocking, We formed the Feed the Wolves. Just started getting shit popping.
So y'all be pushing the music down there?
Yeah, I've been doing that. I came down here 15 years ago, 2008. March 30th this year was my 15-year anniversary in Trinidad. Yeah, so I started doing the hip-hop shit, started pushing a lot of hip-hop artists down here and shit, promoting them, doing a lot of shows and shit. I threw my label launch down here. Fredro came through. Shout out Fredro Star. Domination pulled up. Free Domination. You know what I mean? What's crazy about it, right? When I was locked up, I ain't really know about all that social media shit. You dig? Like all that Facebook and all that shit. Because when I got locked up, we ain't had none of that shit. I missed the MySpace era and all that. So I ain't know about none of that social media shit. I went up in 2004. That's when all that shit started coming out. So when I came home and shit, I see my niggas sending me mad shit on the internet. WorldStarHipHop.com, all that shit popping at the time. So niggas like, yo, you still rocking, nigga. Look at them views you do. So that really motivated me too. And this fucking social media shit really kept me active, you know what I mean? Just started taking over the YouTube and shit.
Yeah, that's the greatness about that social media shit. You could be in another country and still be promoting your shit right here in New York. You could be promoting in New York, America, all of that shit right online.
Yeah. So that definitely kept me active. And then at the time, Ross was beefing with 50, so he needed a little help and shit. I was fresh out of jail, so I was like, yo, let's rock. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Being able to survive out there is a total different. How the people out there, like they love you out there, or what?
Yeah, man, they fuck with me heavy, man, because I showed them things they never seen before. I motivated them, inspired them, especially the youths. You know what I mean? Because I do a lot of shows. We bring artists in. You dig? So like when Ross pull up, we with Ross. We in the hood with them. Trinidad James, French Montana. Shout out to French. That's a solid one. You dig? So like when they never seen stars before up close in the hood. Like we bring them through the hood. So like when they see that, like they only seen that on TV and shit. So like when you actually seeing an international star in your hood laying up, you can smoke a blunt with them, kick it with them, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I do a lot of back to school drives for the youths and shit. So the government, they fuck with me. The soldiers, the police, yeah, they fuck with me. Heavy.
And you said you did 4 joints before you got deported?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
In the feds or New York State?
Nah, I did state time, man. Sing Sing, Shawangunk, and Attica. Yeah, my bed was comfortable, man. Like, I had fun in jail. I'm gonna keep it real, my nigga. I'm a hood nigga, my nigga. I'm a shaker, my nigga. I'm a gangster, my nigga. I'ma live anywhere. So jail was fun to me, like, and I bumped into a lot of dudes I ain't see for years, you dig? So my bid was cool. My bid was normal, because remember, I'm a humble nigga. I'm not no rowdy nigga, no cocky nigga or say like I stun on niggas or I'm better than niggas. You know what I mean? I know how to move. You know what I mean? I'm a humble nigga. I'm more of an observer, you know? So my bid was cool, you know. I touched Sing Sing first. I was in Ulster and shit, right? And when I seen my counselor, because my number's 040 3536. That's a medium status, right? But when I see my counselor and shit, she looked at my record and shit. They moved me to a maximum because they looked at my classification and shit. Said like, yo, you don't belong here. Because I had a murder case that I beat, but they never, what's that expunged it from my record, you heard? Yeah, so my classification was still high. So they wound up moving me to downstate and shit. So you know, downstate, that's you locked in like fucking 23 hours all day. You know what I mean? I was there for like a month. You know what I mean? So from downstate, I touched Sing Sing. You know, Sing Sing's still close to home. So you like in the town, you heard? So that was a blessing. Like Sing Sing, that's like the hood, my nigga. You heard? That's everybody. The COs is black. You know what I mean? Like that's just the hood, you heard? Because that's like the closest jail to New York City.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah, so when I touched Sing Sing and shit, I was in A block. I wound up seeing my nigga Fly Top. That's another ill nigga from Queens and shit. That's Nitty cousin and shit. I don't know if you're familiar with Webb and Nitty.
Yeah, I was in Green with Webb.
Yeah, shout out to Webb and shit. So I wound up seeing fucking Fly Time, A block and shit. You know, he had the whole jail on smash his side on smash and shit. I ain't gonna front, he do his thing. Shout out to Fly Time shit. Boom. So when I got off of quarantine, I went to the yard and shit. I wound up seeing him and shit. He like, oh shit, my nigga, come holler at fucking Webb. So as soon as I got there and shit, my first day in the yard and shit, Ty had me on the phone with Webb and shit. So me and Webb chopping it up. He was like, yo, son, what's up? You good? I'm gonna make sure Ty hold you down. Just let me know what you need or whatever. And he got you. You know what I mean? So that was love. Shout out to Webb for that. I ain't never forget that. Nigga, Ty set me up. You know what I mean? Weed, cigarettes, and shit. You know what I mean? So I was fucking with Ty. I wound up seeing my nigga Spoonie from 131st and Rockaway. You know, you seeing all the fucking Queens ill niggas, you just run into the legends and shit. This is my first time being up north. You know what I mean? So, you know.
What Spoonie is that with the glasses?
Nah, a little short spoon from 131. Yeah, he do be wearing glasses now. He be wearing the specs and shit.
I'm trying to think if I was locked up with him too. It might be a different dude though. But I remember a Spoonie with the glasses.
Boom. So from there, who else I was with? I bumped into my homie Brady from Daisley. I used to rock with him too. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's Queens niggas, you know, when you come in here, the Queens niggas letting you know, all right, boom, 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 this our table, we over here. And all the Queens niggas, you know, just introducing you niggas. So at that time now, you know, when you get there, you ain't get settled in your spot yet. So I was there for like a few days. So from A block, I went to B block now. So that's why I'm settling them now. So that's when I bumped heads with my nigga, I don't know if you're familiar with a nigga named Shy G from Brooklyn. Big nigga. Big black nigga, scars all over his face. So boom, I'm fucking with Shy G in the time because I bumped heads with him in downstate and shit. Shout out to that nigga. He stayed with the weed and shit. Well, we was in downstate and shit. So we used to play cards and shit in downstate. He always make sure I was lit and shit on the weed tip. So he used to just give me the little rundown and shit. I forgot about that shit when I'm in downstate, how upstate gonna be. Because, you know, this is my first time going up north. So he just let me know, like, yo, when you go there, just rock back. You know what I mean? Don't really fuck with niggas, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I mean? Just giving me a little advice and shit. So long story short, I wind up seeing this nigga again in fucking B block. So, you know, it's on now. This is my nigga. I feel real comfortable around this nigga now. You dig? So, boom. We there. We smoking and shit. We chilling and shit. Then I wind up seeing my niggas, I bumped into my nigga from Queens, CY. Shout out to CY and shit. You know what I mean? So we just rocking in B block, but I used to get the bag too. when I got settled in. So, you know, it was big blunts of haze and backwood in the yard and shit. You know what I mean? So when I got a B block, I bumped into a lot of official niggas too in B block. I used to fuck with my nigga I don't know if you're familiar with Powerful Power Wow, to be the big homie at G-Shine at the time I was up there. Yeah, so me and him got tight and shit. I used to fuck with that nigga and shit. You know what I mean? Who else I used to fuck with it? You know what I mean? Man, it was just all the niggas out there, man. Just a bunch of legends, man. You know how you go. You know what I mean? But I did get in an altercation in Sing Sing, though, you heard?
Over what?
Over a situation that happened in the streets.
Some Queen shit?
A nigga tried to get at me in the streets, winding up in the same jail, you heard?
What you mean tried to get at you in the streets? Tried to blam at you or something?
Niggas tried to bang at me, you heard? Niggas took a hit on me and shit, you heard?
And he popped up in Sing Sing, or he was already there when you got there?
Nah, I was there. But see, he a nigga. He like he like one of them old town Queens niggas. So like a lot of niggas know him and shit, you heard? So when he like, this how that shit happened, right? So boom, we in a block now, right? So I'm chilling and shit. I got the word, cause you know anytime a Queens nigga come in. When I got there, I'm situated now. Before we get into that, before he even got there, so I'm in Sing Sing now. Long story short, I got the B block. I started fucking with all my niggas, Shot G and all them. Long story short, I'm getting the bag now, so I'm rocking. You know what I mean? Getting all my fucking clothes and everything coming in now. Remember I told you I just got there. So boom, I'm rocking now. I'm up now, you heard? So you know when you get there and you up, you gonna have a lot of followers and shit. You know what I mean? So now my weight up now. All the Queens niggas, anything they need, they coming to me. You know what I mean? I'm making sure niggas straight. If I know you, if you need sneakers, clothes, or whatever, you don't got nothing, I got you. Shout out to my nigga Chaos. He could vouch for that. Another nigga from 40 Project. Like when niggas come in, whatever they need, Smurf got the care package for them. You know what I mean? That's how I do. I'm a real nigga. So I'm comfortable. I'm situated at the time. I remember I'm on what tier I was on? I was on the T tier. I was on Tango and shit, Tango tier. So my homie came and told me like, yo, such and such, let's touch. But he don't know at the time, me and this nigga got a situation, you heard? He just let me know, a Queens nigga touch such and such or whatever. I'm like, oh, what? Alright. But I never let him know neither, like, oh shit, this nigga such and such, man, I'm gonna have to, we gonna have to figure this shit out, you heard? The long story short, I goes to the yard and shit. The same nigga that cut me, right? There's a nigga, I don't really want to say these niggas now. I really don't give a fuck, because statute of limitations and stuff, that's jail shit anyway, but I ain't gonna mention niggas' name. But long story short, the same nigga that cut me, though, is another old town Queens nigga, and this was his nigga. You know what I mean? This nigga never really liked me, because I never really fucked with this nigga, you heard? If you could put two and two together, I don't know, you heard? So that's the nigga who they say allegedly killed Jam Master J. The nigga that used to sleep on his couch and shit, an old dope fiend nigga, grimy nigga from Hollis, you heard? He a grimy nigga. He one of them grimy slime ball niggas. He a OG slime ball nigga, dope fiend nigga, but he a slime ball nigga. That nigga is a slime ball, you heard? And this legendary shit I'm telling you, my nigga. So boom, long story short, the nigga I never really fuck with because of that too. He ain't really know that though, but I always used to just avoid this nigga. Like he used to come try to get weed and shit from me. I never sell weed, but I always got the bag and shit. But niggas know like if you from Queens or if I fuck with a nigga, I just give a nigga a smoke. That's cool. I don't need nothing for that. Go ahead. Cause I really had the bag like that. So boom, I never used to get this nigga nuts. So he already had an animosity with me, you heard? Cause I always used to blank this nigga like, nah, get out of here, son. Nah, I don't got nothing. You know what I mean? So long story short, one day in the yard and shit, the nigga came up to me and shit, right? Stunting and shit, right? I think he was with the other guy. Both of these niggas wound up cutting me anyway, two OGs, right? They both came up to me and shit. So he talking and shit, I'm smoking and shit. I'm smoking with my homies and shit. So he pulled out his shank and shit. And he tell me like, yeah, this for one of my homies and shit he just touched. So in the back of my head, I already know that, oh, he fuck with too then. okay. Well, that's the kid that took the hit on me. Then, all right, no problem. Boom, boom, boom. So I already put in 2 and 2 together now. So I'm waiting like to come to the yard now. So I'm going to check his temperature to see where he at with it. So long story short, it was a night wreck in the yard and shit. So this is my first time seeing him come through and shit. So I guess he went to the shower first, because you could either come to the yard, go to the shower, and when you're done with the shower, come to the yard. You know what I mean? So I go straight to the yard and shit. I wind up telling my homies and shit, the niggas who I fuck with at the time, who I'm there with and shit. Shy G wind up leaving too. Like, all my niggas I fuck with when I first got there all wind up on the draft. So Shy G gone, C, Y gone. A lot of niggas is gone now. So I got a bunch of new niggas around me and shit. Like, my main niggas I used to fuck with was gone. So when this situation played off, I was kind of like in a situation like my main niggas in there, and these niggas who I'm around is not really like that. Anyway, long story short, he comes to the yard and shit. So I see the guy walking and shit, because where I used to be at is Sing Sing Yard. You know, Sing Sing Yard is just like a big, it's like a big court. It ain't grass and shit, the yard. The yard is tar. It's a big tar yard. And you got a gate separating it. So you got 2 sides. So where I used to be at the corner, at the gate, back against the wall, so I could see everything coming at me. On the other side of the gate next to me, I think that was my them Trinidado guys next to me. Shout out to them. I used to fuck with them guys too. They table next to me, but on the other side of the gate, because I told you the gate separate the shit. So I see the nigga walking through and shit, so he goes on the other side. He goes to the God body table and shit, you up. Nigga understand it. What was that nigga name? Understand it? Nah, what's that? I'm trying to remember the name. One of the main niggas I used to rock the God body shit there in the TV shit in the yard. Damn, what's this nigga name, son? What's this nigga name?
He was from Queens too?
Nah, he from Brooklyn. I think a nigga name was True. What's this nigga name, True? I'm not sure, but long story short, he goes by them and shit. You know what I mean? He goes to that table, so you know me. I said, fuck it, let me go check this nigga temperature. I go spins by myself. I know the nigga who sell the weed and shit, who he went to. I really think this nigga name was True, if I'm not mistaken. A God body cat. He used to lock the TV, they had the weed and shit, so boom. I see him go by him, so I said, yo, let me go by him and shit. I'm gonna go actually play it off like I want some weed just to take this nigga temperature. So I goes to the homie and shit. I think his name is True, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yo, bro, so you got some weed on you? He was like, nah, not at the moment. But the nigga standing right next to the nigga and shit, you heard? That's the guy that tried to get at me in the town. It was him and like 4 niggas. It was 4 niggas shooting at me. All the niggas been legendary stories in the town. But anyway, he's standing right next to the nigga. So I'm looking at the nigga. The nigga don't want to look at me and shit. The nigga puts his head down. And like he kicking a rock or something, whatever's on the floor. So I'm like, alright. I spins off. So I check his temperature. He ain't really built like that, you heard? Because if you took the drop on me in the town, now, same nigga, he looking like he seen a ghost, you heard, walking up to him now. But I spin and looked at True like, yo, let me get some weed. He like, nah, that nigga, a real nigga would have been looking at me in my eye on goon time like, what's happening? So when I checked his temperature, he looking down on the floor, so I said, alright. I spin back off and shit. I ain't really doing nothing and shit. I said, you know what? I'm gonna see how this shit play out and shit. So I think it was my nigga DS and shit. This was my neighbor and shit. I said, when I went back up, I let him know the situation. Like, yeah, that's really the nigga really here in the jail. Cause I was telling him about the situation and shit. So boom, long story short, the next day, I go out night break, you heard? It's me, my nigga DS, and a few other niggas and shit, right? So I go approach him and his niggas. It was him, our nigga, and some other niggas. So I pulls up on them niggas like, yo, bro, let me holler you. You know what I mean? I'm talking to Nigga like, yo, come here, let me holler at you, my nigga. So we pulled to the side and shit. So I started chopping it up with the nigga, like, gangster shit, you heard? This how crazy I am, man. You just took a hit on me. You acting like you scared to move on me. Now I pulled up on you again the next day, like, yo, come here, let me holler at you. I'm a militant nigga. I know how to play with people's heads too. So I'm like, yo, come here, let me holler at you, bro. I said, yo, you see that shit happen in the town? Don't worry about that shit, you heard? We in jail now. We gonna leave the street shits in the streets, you heard? The nigga fell for that shit, you heard? So I said, alright, cool. I did that just to get him comfortable, you heard? Yeah, I did that to get him comfortable now. All the war shit. Alright, cool. He think everything cool now. Long story short, they wind up moving him to A block now, you heard? So like a few months go by and shit. I see the nigga on the visit. Remember, A block is the next side of the jail now. So the only time I could see him, or you see people on that side of jail, is like if you go into the visit or commissary and shit, you heard? So I used to see him in the visits, see him in commissary and shit. Couldn't really get at the nigga. But long story short, they had a softball game, A block against B block, you heard? So guess who's playing motherfucking softball for A block? The same nigga, you heard? So A block came to B block, you heard? For a softball game, right? So this nigga on the team, this nigga come to jail to play softball, man. Long story short, I had the perfect setup in there, so I forgot. Oh, shout out to my cousin Los, man. Because he wound up touching in the jail, too. So at that time now, because I remember I told you they wound up moving. So when my cousin Los in the jail at the time, now this is my blood, like we put in crazy work together. So he in the jail now. So I'm sitting on the bucket, right? I ain't even know this shit was about to play out, right? I'm like, yo, this nigga really on the softball team? So I'm sitting on the bucket on the gate now, right? So I'm talking to Los. I'm like, yo, because my nigga Los, the funny shit, he was out there that night too when niggas tried to get at me. My same cousin Los, the same nigga that tried to get at me in the town, he was there that night on the block. He had to get low too. Yeah, so now this nigga in the jail with me too. So boom, so I'm telling Los, like, yeah, they go to nigga right there. So he was like, yo, what's up? Well, you want me to go slap him? I said, nah, fuck that. We ain't gonna slap the nigga. Then that nigga fight back, you brawl, and then that's gonna be too much of a scene now. Fuck slapping the nigga, right? So remember I told you I always had the weed and shit in jail and shit, right? So boom, I told the OG nigga, right? Like, yo, I'm gonna give you some weed, right? He was a blood nigga too, right? So I said, yo, I'm gonna give you some weed, man. You see that nigga right there? I planned this shit out ill too, right? I said, yo, you see that nigga right there, right? When he go up to bat, I want you to send somebody, just blow that nigga face off in front of the whole yard, you heard? I like to embarrass niggas too, right? I like to test your gangster and embarrass you too, right? So boom, the little nigga, as soon as the nigga got up to bat, nigga, I'll never forget this. I was sitting on the gate. I'm laughing in the back of my head like, yo, I'm like, yo, this gangster nigga really up here playing softball in the yard, my nigga. I said, all right. So long story short, he got up to bat. The little homie went up to the nigga, bust that nigga shit open. Bada! In front of everybody. He spent off ill. Boom. Got about the situation. The nigga had a bat in his hand, my nigga. This is no lie. My nigga, the nigga dropped the bat, ran to the gate and started screaming to his niggas. You heard? And you know what he telling them? Yo, Smurf got me hit. Smurf got me hit. Instead of you trying to fight and beat a nigga ass with a bat, you running around talking about who gave you hit. How you know I even got you hit? I'm all the way on the other side laughing. You heard? The long story short, boom. And his peoples was telling him, like, yo, don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. The niggas and them niggas was like, yo, don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. So he, game over. Whatever he did, he did. He got back to his situation. He played it off ill. However, he got back when the game was over. You heard? So he wound up making it back to A block. So I already feel the tension and shit because remember, I forgot to tell you, when I'm in the jail, remember, I'm a fly nigga. I got the weed, I got everything. So a lot of niggas ain't like me anyway, too. You know? And a lot of niggas know they couldn't extort me and get nothing from me. So a lot of niggas was upset at me, too. Like, you know how it go. Niggas be hating, my nigga. But they couldn't do nothing about it. So long story short, this was a reason for niggas thinking. And at the time, I had a bag on my head. Yeah, because that's the time beef from Big Bro. Yeah. So niggas thinking they can hit me, they could call back town and get some money and shit. You know how that shit go, right? So I was like a walking bag in jail, you know? Yeah, but long story short, I could see that night, I see them acting like they wanted to do something and shit, right? So I already know how that was going to play out. So I already know, like, boom, I told Los, man, we're going to have to just hit all these old timers after this. Because I already see how they moving and shit. I know how these old time, all of them from Queens, too. So I know how them old timer Queens niggas move and shit, you heard? And that's who I was beefing with in the town for Fifth and shit, was them old timers. So them old timers really ain't like me, too. Anyway, I had them niggas on their ass. You know what I mean? So long story short, I told my cousin, look, man, we're going to have to hit all these old niggas, you heard? So he was like, all right, cool. So that shit happened on a Friday and shit. So that's when I called Wifey. Now I'm like, yo, I'm going to need like 10 scalpels and shit. You know what I mean? You know, them 11s and shit. You just wrap that shit up in the motherfucking electrical tape. Them shits don't ring and shit. Do them metal detectors. So I called the town, told Wifey I need like 11 scalpels. So she just going to bring me shits up. So I'm going to just, you know what I mean? Me and my niggas, we're just going to come out to the yard and just cause a fucking riot. You know what I mean? But long story short, that shit, that boy got hit Friday. On Monday, I wound up getting hit. So we going to the yard now.
Hey, yo, go on Amazon.com and make sure y'all cop this book for my bro Chewy Combs. You heard? Brooklyn. Let's get it. Hey, yo, LAZ, man, shout out to all my QU soldiers from Left Rack to Rockaway back to Queensbridge. You heard? If you from Queens out there, man, go in the comments, shout out what block you from, what projects you from, what section of Queens you from, and what era in Queens you from. Yersh. Shout out to the bro Bangum Smurf, you heard, for dropping this fire in this 3-part interview. You heard? This is part 2. I know y'all out there thirsty and salivating. Y'all harassing me in the comments. Now I mean, y'all hitting me up on Instagram. Yo, Laz, what's up with that Bangum part 2? I got you, bros. I got you. That first part already did 22,000 views as of today. You heard? I had to make sure y'all was all caught up, man. But we back at it. Gen Pop Gang, we run these YouTube streets. You heard? Oxygen Gang, we out the building, not just in the building. Shout out to the whole Trinidad and Tobago. If you out there, leave a comment. Let us know you reppin'. Shout out to my wife, brother Clint, that's out there in Trinidad. You heard? From East New York and Crown Heights. What up? Z-Man Suicide Polo with the ski man running around the hood like He-Man at 3 a.m. with 3 swams looking for a dude that ran off with 3 grams. Open your window, you might hear 3 blams. You heard? Let's get it.
Come out to the yard and just cause a riot. You know what I mean? But long story short, that shit, that boy got hit Friday. On Monday, I wound up getting hit. So we going to the yard now. You know, we still cocky. We still showing out now. We already know what it is. We already know what's on. So I'm in the yard and shit. You can feel the tension. You can just see the old time the niggas looking at you. Them niggas used to be on me. Them niggas like, I don't know what it was, yo. So long story short, the Monday now, wife was supposed to come on the visit and shit to drop everything off for me and shit. So I'm waiting for the visit early in the morning and shit. Them fucking old niggas is ill. They knew they couldn't get me on the yard because I'm militant. I got my guns on me in the yard and I'm militant back against the wall. I'm ready. So they know they couldn't get me in the yard. So that them OG niggas, you know, the niggas is some slime ball niggas. You know how them old timers is? They think out the box. Them niggas caught me sleeping in my bed early morning, you heard? And them niggas was yard porters and shit, you heard? So, you know, they could move around and shit. Yeah, so them niggas wound up catching me that Monday morning. Early in the morning, shit ran up in my cell. And if you know Sing Sing and shit, once you hit one gate, all the gates open on the 10 shit, cause that's like the oldest motherfucking one of the first jails that was built and shit, you heard? So that shit real old school. So once you hit one latch, all the gates open and shit. So I think yard rec was about to come back, morning rec was coming back. Yeah. But that's my fault too though. I shouldn't have been slipping like that anyway. You did?
What they did, they sent somebody or somebody?
No, they came personally. They came themselves. The same niggas I told you we was going to have to hit. Wanted to move them before me. Because that night, I was going to hit them the Monday. I was just waiting for extra weapons for my niggas. I already had like 2 shanks. And my cousin Los had his shit and shit. So I was just getting more shit for my niggas. So we was just going to go out there and just hit everybody. You know?
So it was 2 of them? Plan. It was 2 of them that ran in your cell?
Yeah. 2 of them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
And what they did, try to stab you up or trying to cut you?
They tried to cut me, but they had the rug cutter. They tried to do me dirty, my nigga. But you know, I know how to maneuver, nigga. So I had a real bang, but I wound up getting cut. I wound up getting cut on the side of my head. But they was trying to ruin my face, you heard? Nah, I ain't let them get that. You had a bang for that, you heard? I got cut on the side of my head, though.
So what you had? How you managed not to get cut all in your face though?
Man, bro, I don't know, son. You know when your adrenaline rushes, man, you turn into a superhero, bro. I was supposed to be dead, my nigga. Like literally, you know what I'm saying? These ain't no little niggas. These is veterans, you heard? Yeah, these niggas is doing football numbers, so you know they don't care. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I got about the situation, bro. Like I had a fight. I got about the situation, bro. They tried to cut my neck, my face, but I got about the situation, and I wound up getting cut on the side of my head. So once they seen that blood, and we was brawling for a minute. You know what I mean? I was banging, my nigga. It was either that or death, my nigga. So boom, I just know I couldn't just, you know what I mean? I couldn't let them just. All I'm just saying is, my nigga, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, my nigga. I don't know.
What the rest of what was the temperature of the rest of the tier? Like, niggas had already bounced, or niggas was acting like they ain't know what was going on?
Nigga, this shit is, the yard rec is now coming back, my nigga. Let me tell you how this shit went down, my nigga. If this is how this shit went down, shout out to my nigga Calendar, right, is a CEO, right? He usually work my tail all the time. He ain't worked that morning, right? And this was Wet Peoples. This was a CEO that always used to come check on me. But I told you, the polite nigga and them Tanar niggas, they OG Queens niggas. So like, them niggas in the jail fuck with them niggas. Them other Queens niggas, like the Fly Tide, the same nigga that I told you when I got there I used to fuck with. And they helped me down, gave me the weed and shit, make sure I was straight with the cigarettes. Yeah, I be talking to women shit. Nitty little cousin and shit. Well, all of them fuck with each other, yeah. They weren't saying them old time niggas and shit. You know what I mean? So that's how this shit went down, right? It's a nigga named B, right? It's a nigga named B from America. He just came home too. He had an asshole full of time. He from American shit. Queens and shit. He walks by first, right? He takes the CO, right? Around the corner is a rookie CO too, you heard? He takes him around the corner on another tier. You know what I mean? I already put everything together. That's common sense. That's how them niggas got to run up in my shit, you heard? The CO wasn't it. And B was a porter too, so he wound up moving the nigga, you heard? The yo to the other side. Like, yo, I don't know what he told the nigga, whatever. But he got him to the other side. You heard?
Yeah.
So them guys wound up running in my shit, did what they did, whatever. They cut me on the side of the head. I guess they was happy with that. They ran out. Boom. I ain't blow this shit up. You know what I mean? It was 2 of my people's key block next to me. 2 of my neighbors key block, you right? Key block is when you catch a tier, like a tier 2 or something. So you locked in yourself for like a few days, you heard? 20 days, 30 days or something. It ain't a tier 3, so you don't gotta go to the box for your disciplinary. You heard? You could do it in yourself. So 2 of my homies keep locking shit. They watching the whole shit, you heard? So boom, when them niggas did what they did, they ran out and shit. I ain't blow this shit up, man. I just grabbed the mirror one time, looked at my shit like, niggas got. Said, I put my tail up and shit. I'm talking to my nigga, he from upstate and shit. I forgot this nigga there, he from Poughkeepsie and shit. So he was like, yo, son, I was such and such. He let me know who them niggas was if I ain't know. I'm like, man, how the fuck I ain't gonna know who just hit me? You see his bro. But he let me know who it was anyway. Like, yo, that's such and such and such and such. Then my other nigga next to me, his name Diablo, nigga, he from the BX. He like, yo, son, you good? I'm like, nah, son, them niggas touched me, son. They got me. So Kalaya wanted to put in my cell up and shit. Mad blood coming out now and shit. Mad blood. So I'm cleaning my cell up and shit. Rec coming back now. Everybody coming back from rec. I'm playing it off normal and shit. I got my curtain up, just cleaning up my cell. Rolling up some weed now, smoking and shit. I'm like, damn, niggas got me. So I'm thinking like, boom, I could stitch my shit up. Cause I'm not taking that, niggas on now. You heard? It's my first time I ever got touched in my life. You heard? Cause remember, I never got shot. I never got none of that shit. So it's like the first time I ever got touched in my life and shit. Like from another nigga scar me, son. You heard? So you know my blood boiling, man. Like I got kill one of these niggas, you heard? So I'm trying to stitch my shit up, you heard? This is facts, you heard? I'm about to try to stitch my fucking cut back up. My homie Diablo and them was like, nah, son, you gotta go report that, son, because even if you do stitch that up, nigga, you ain't making it past the yard, nigga. You ain't making it past the dead, nigga. You know what I mean? Because my fucking face swollen too, so I ain't gonna front. Niggas punch me up and shit too. Big nigga too. They bring one big nigga with them. Nigga understanding and shit. Nigga named Hunt. Big nigga. You know what I mean? So he punched me up. My face swollen and shit anyway. So they're like, nah, bro, you can't get, you might as well, nah, bro. So I was like, whatever, nigga. So I just ride back, smoke my weed. Fucking, just chill, nigga. Tonky coming by. I'm like, yo, I'm shitting or whatever, because I'm still heated, nigga. First time I got touched, nigga, I ain't really know me. I wasn't feeling that shit, nigga. I wasn't the killer, nigga. Long story short, man, I wound up just reporting this shit. Told the seal, like, yo, no, before that, I wound up calling out to my nigga Africa. Shout out to Africa and shit. He wound up getting deported to Africa. I'm still in contact with him to this day. Shout out to Africa and shit. That's one of my homies. I was on the tier with me. We used to cook food and shit together. I wound up calling out to him like, yo, Africa, come check me. Africa wound up coming down there. He seen my shit. He like, damn. I let him know the situation. Shout out to Africa. He a real nigga. He went out and turned up for me too. He knocked like 2 niggas out for me. Shout out to Africa. So long story short, then word spread it now, yo. I ain't report this shit till like after lunch, my nigga. Cause I told the yard wreck coming. So from after yard wreck, is the counting shit, you heard? And then from the counter's child, and then you come back, wait some minutes, then you go either program or yard. But long story short, when the CO came around for the count, I just let him know program, you know? So you can just gotta wait for my shit, cause I'm like, I'm smoking, I'm taking a shit. You know what I mean? I ain't report my shit yet, so they let him chow out. Remember I told you, I'm in there with my cousin. So now my cousin coming out, but he on the tier under me. I hear him screaming out, yo, bang up. You know what I mean? Cause I guess he got the word like, yo, son happened to Smurf. So then I already let him know like, yo, man, no good. So I guess he already knew what it was, you heard? So once he knew, I already knew what he was about to turn up and shit. So long story short, boom, I wound up reporting this shit. I told the CO, like, I fell on my locker, whatever. Long story short. They take me out, and I would go make a big, call all the fucking captains, sergeant, whatever, boom. Walk me down, take me to medical. You know me, I'm still walking with my head high, didn't bop to my nigga. You heard? That's why when niggas tell me, you running the nigga who was there with me in jail, they're like, yo, the nigga Smurf crazy. You know, some niggas will be hiding, shame, ducking their head. Nigga, my head still high, I'm diddy bopping. Nigga, this gangster shit that happened, my nigga. You know how the game go. That shit don't kill your pride. So I'm diddy bopping down the chair, hollering at all my niggas and shit, like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Because, you know, you ain't seeing them again, nigga. You going to involve, you heard? You out of there, you heard? Long story short, telling all my niggas, yeah, I'm about it and shit, whatever. We go, niggas take me to the medical and shit. So the fucking sergeant, the captains, everybody gonna come give you an interview. Who cut you? Who did this? Who did that? You know what I mean? You already know. I don't know. I fell on the locker. I don't know what y'all talking about. Long story short. So when you go there, when you come back from medical and shit, I had to go to an outside hospital and shit to get stitched up and shit. I had to get stitches from the inside and the outside and shit. So when I came back, I had to interview with the sergeant and shit. So they asked you, do you want to go to PC? You know, when you refuse that, they still send you to involve. So I wound up going to involve and shit. So I was there for like a year before I wound up going to, but before I got to involve and shit, I'm upstairs in the medical. I stayed there for like a few days and shit. They had you upstairs in the jail hospital and shit. So boom, what was going on? I wound up hearing my cousin Los in the box now. Them old timers drop slips on him. He wound up getting locked up with 2 shanks and shit, you heard? Because he was about to go put that pain in for me, you heard? Shout out to cousin Los, love that nigga. Boom, so I heard he in the box now. You know, I'm going to the same spot because involved, all of that is SHU. You heard? All of that is special housing unit. You got the whole, that's the box. You got IPC and you got PC. All of that is in the same facility. All that is in the same building. That's SHU. So they had my cousin Los in the box and shit. He downstairs. I'm upstairs. I'm in IPC. That's in the voluntary protective custody and shit. That's IPC. That's when you refuse PC. They automatically you send you there. You dig? So boom. When I get there now and shit, I could speak to Los through the vent. When he come out and shit for the shower, so we were speaking through the vent and shit, cousin Los, so he was showing me the whole situation. Like, man, them old timers are slime balls, man. You know how them OGs play, my nigga. But long story short, he down there. I used to send him weed and shit. You know, I'm still getting my weed and shit, still rocking. Wifey's still coming on the visit, so I'm still flooding the spot. So I used to just send him my weed and shit. Man, so I wound up, from Sing Sing, I wound up going to Shawanga. So from Shawanga now, that's like a super maxi max, you heard? I don't know if you're familiar with Shawanga. Like, that's the super maxi max. Yeah. That's where they send all the top criminals in the facility to these kind of spots. I told you that. I was locked out. I wound up linking up with Larry Davis there. I got a story how I met OG Nuke there from Brownsville. You know what I mean? I linked up with my nigga Bush and Shawanga. Who else? What was the homie's name? My nigga MK from 183rd. Shout out to MK and them niggas. Who else? What was my little nigga from the, well, not my little nigga, little short nigga from the Bronx. Shout out to Gambino. You know what I mean? I used to fuck with them niggas in the jail and shit in Shawanga. When I touched there, rest in peace to my nigga Droop. Droop from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? He was there when I touched. Shout out to Halim, my Muslim brother. Shout out to Face Diamond. Shout out to Shakur. Like, those all the dudes in Shawanga I used to really rock with. But when I got to Shawanga, that shit was kind of like different. And I was in the SHU for a year, so I'm finally back in the population. So I'm feeling good again, you heard? Because you know when you're at SHU, you lock down all day. Even if you're involved, they treating you lock down all day. You come out at night, I think, for like an hour or two, watch a little TV at night. And when I got out of that shit, I was kind of happy. Like, well, I wasn't kind of happy. Nigga was real happy. Like, cool. You know what I mean? So when I get a Shawangunk now, that shit was like, Shawangunk is built like a fish tank, you heard? You got the big glass and your tears and cells all around this shit, you heard? So when I got there, I'm pushing through my shit. You got everybody on the tier just going crazy. Like, oh shit, that's banging, and shit. So when I got there, it was a lot of love in Shawangunk, a lot of love. Yeah, but I almost got into a situation with my OG Nuke. He wound up becoming like one of my mentors and shit, you heard? Yeah, them some serious niggas, especially in the penitentiary. Them niggas caught bodies in jail and all that. But long story short, that's how me and the OG got cool. So when I get to motherfucking Shawangunk now, you know, I'm getting situated, I'm off quarantine and shit, da-da-da-da-da. You know, I go to the yard, whatever jail I'm at, I'm spending the yard if I gotta spend by myself or whatever, till I see a nigga I know. I goes to the yard and shit, I'm chilling. No, let me rewind back, pardon me. When I first got to the jail, right, before I even almost got in a situation with Nuke, my nigga Ronnie Mack pulled up on me. Ronnie Mack is an old timer from Queens, Linden and shit. He was facing he was doing 172 years and shit for a lot of robberies and shit. They hit the OG with 172 years. Shout out to Ronnie Mack. I think he got a reversal. He might be home. I'm not sure though. But long story short, that nigga pulled up on me like, yo, Smurf, let me holler at you. So I'm like, what's up? What's up? I ain't know the nigga. He was like, yo, what's up with you and L? He asking me about his nephew, you heard? I guess he trying to check my temperature, you heard? So he was like, yo, what's up with you